The island nation of Jamaica finds itself grappling with a perplexing situation, one that has left many citizens and officials alike in a state of uncertainty and concern. At the heart of it all is the Tax Administration Jamaica, commonly referred to as the Taj, the entity responsible for tax collection and enforcement across the island. This organization plays a pivotal role in ensuring the financial stability and integrity of the nation. The Taj has maintained an unsettling silence, declining to acknowledge or respond to a critical inquiry from the Integrity Commission. This lack of communication has raised eyebrows and led to widespread speculation. This silence follows the Commission's referral of an investigative report, a report that delves into the financial dealings of none other than Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The report is said to contain significant findings that could have far-reaching implications for the government. The report, now in the hands of the Taj for over 2 weeks, has sparked considerable debate and speculation across the island. Citizens are left wondering about the contents of the report and the reasons behind the Taj's silence. The silence from the Taj has only amplified the growing concerns about transparency and accountability within the highest echelons of power in Jamaica. Many are questioning whether the government is committed to upholding the principles of integrity and honesty. The Integrity Commission, known for its role in investigating allegations of corruption and impropriety, plays a crucial role in upholding ethical conduct within the government. Its efforts are seen as essential in maintaining public trust and ensuring that those in power are held accountable for their actions. As the nation waits for answers, the silence from the Taj continues to be a source of frustration and anxiety. The people of Jamaica are eager for transparency and clarity, hoping that the truth will soon come to light. In the meantime, the Integrity Commission remains steadfast in its mission, determined to uncover the truth and ensure that justice is served. The eyes of the nation are on the Taj, waiting to see how this situation will unfold. Section 2. A cloud of uncertainty. The Integrity Commission's referral of the investigative report to the Taj on September 18th marked a pivotal moment in this unfolding saga. The Commission's Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, after careful consideration of the report's findings, deemed it necessary to involve the tax authorities. This action, seemingly routine in the course of an investigation, has taken on extraordinary significance due to the individual at the center of the probe, the Prime Minister himself. Section 3. Jamaica's integrity under scrutiny. The Integrity Commission, established to safeguard ethical conduct in government, plays a pivotal role in preserving public trust. Its mandate includes investigating allegations of corruption, conflicts of interest, and illicit enrichment within the public sector. The Commission's independent investigations and subsequent reports are crucial for ensuring transparency and accountability within the Jamaican government. The Taj, on the other hand, is tasked with managing Jamaica's tax system, collecting revenues, and ensuring compliance with tax laws. While seemingly less directly related to matters of integrity and ethics, the Taj's role is nevertheless crucial for maintaining a fair and transparent financial system. Section 1. The referral, a timeline begins. This is the story of how a single day can set off a series of events that ripple through an entire nation. September 18, 2023, a date that would soon be etched into the annals of Jamaican history. A seemingly ordinary day in Jamaica, yet one that would mark the beginning of an extraordinary chain of events. The sun rose over Kingston, casting its golden hue over the bustling streets, unaware of the storm brewing in the corridors of power. It was on this day that the Integrity Commission, after concluding its exhaustive investigation into Prime Minister Andrew Holness's finances, formally referred its comprehensive report to the Tax Administration Jamaica. This was not just a routine handover. It was a pivotal moment that had been months in the making. This referral, a standard procedural step in such matters, carried with it the weight of public scrutiny and the potential to shake the very foundations of Jamaican politics. The media was abuzz. Reporters swarmed the government buildings, eager to catch a glimpse of the unfolding drama. The Commission, known for its meticulous and thorough approach to investigations, had spent countless hours carefully examining the Prime Minister's financial records and dealings. Every transaction, every document was scrutinized to ensure no stone was left unturned. The details of their findings remained confidential, locked away within the pages of the report now in the possession of the Taj. The secrecy surrounding the report only added to the air of mystery and anticipation. This silence, while necessary to protect the integrity of the process, did little to quell the rising tide of speculation and intrigue that began to engulf the nation. Conversations buzzed in cafes, headlines screamed from newspapers, and social media was ablaze with theories and opinions. The entire country was on edge, waiting for the next chapter in this unfolding saga. As the days stretched into a week, the silence from the Taj began to take on a deafening quality. The lack of any official acknowledgement of the report's receipt, let alone any indication of an internal review, was unusual to say the least. The public, accustomed to at least a perfunctory statement from government agencies, began to express their concern. Whispers of concern soon grew into murmurs of discontent. The media, ever vigilant in its role as watchdog, began to raise questions about the unusual silence. Editorials were penned, political commentators speculated, and social media became abuzz with theories and conjecture. The lack of concrete information only served to fuel the rumor mill, with each passing day adding to the sense of unease. The media, sensing a story of significant public interest, began to dig deeper. Reporters camped outside the TAG headquarters, hoping to catch a glimpse of officials entering or leaving the building. Attempts were made to reach out to spokespersons, seeking even a brief statement or clarification. The stonewalling from the agency, however, continued unabated. The public, hungry for information, turned to the media for updates and analysis. Talk shows dedicated entire segments to dissecting the implications of the Taj's silence. Newspaper columns offered a range of perspectives, from measured calls for patience to scathing critiques of the government's lack of transparency. News of the Integrity Commission's investigation and the subsequent silence from the TAG did not remain confined to the shores of Jamaica. International media outlets, particularly those with a focus on Caribbean affairs, picked up the story, highlighting the potential implications for the island nation's reputation. Jamaica, known for its vibrant democracy and commitment to the rule of law, found itself under scrutiny from international observers. Guardians of integrity, the Commission's role. In the intricate machinery of Jamaican governance, the Integrity Commission stands as a crucial component, entrusted with the solemn duty of upholding ethical conduct and combating corruption within the public sphere. Established by an Act of Parliament, the Commission operates independently of political influence, its mandate clear: to investigate, adjudicate, and, where necessary, expose wrongdoing within the ranks of those entrusted with public power. The Commission's arsenal is primarily one of investigation and public exposure. The taxman cometh Taj's place in the equation. While the Integrity Commission focuses on the ethical conduct of public officials, the Tax Administration Jamaica, or Taj, plays a different but equally vital role in upholding the principles of good governance. Tasked with the often thankless job of collecting taxes, the TAG ensures the government has the financial resources to provide essential services to its citizens. However, its mandate extends far beyond simply collecting revenue. The TAG is also responsible for enforcing Jamaica's tax laws, investigating allegations of tax evasion, and ensuring that everyone, regardless of their social standing, pays their fair share. In the context of the Integrity Commission's investigation into Prime Minister Holness, the TAG's role takes on a new layer of significance. Intertwined responsibilities, a system at work. The relationship between the Integrity Commission and the TAG is not one of competition, but rather of collaboration. They are two sides of the same coin, both working, albeit through different means, to ensure that Jamaica's governance remains transparent and accountable. The Commission, with its focus on ethical conduct, acts as a guardian of integrity, while the TIARJ, through its enforcement of tax laws, ensures financial probity. Section 4. When silence speaks, interpreting inaction. In the realm of public affairs, silence is rarely golden. It is often a double-edged sword, carrying implications that can be both profound and unsettling. It often carries more weight than words, its ambiguity fueling speculation and breeding mistrust. The absence of communication can create a vacuum, one that is quickly filled with rumors and assumptions. The TIARJ's continued silence in the wake of the Integrity Commission's referral has done little to quell the anxieties of a public already wary of government opaqueness. This silence is not just a lack of words, it is a statement in itself, one that speaks volumes about the current state of affairs. This silence, whether strategic or simply a symptom of bureaucratic inertia, speaks volumes about the challenges facing Jamaica's pursuit of transparency and accountability. It raises questions about the effectiveness of the systems in place and the willingness of those in power to engage with the public. Interpreting the TIARJ's silence requires navigating a labyrinth of possibilities. Each turn in this maze presents a new theory, a new angle from which to view the situation. Is it a calculated move to buy time or a sign of deeper issues within the organization? On the surface, it could be construed as a sign of respect for the investigative process, a desire to avoid prejudicing any potential outcomes. This interpretation suggests a level of prudence and caution, a careful consideration of the implications of any premature statements. However, this charitable interpretation loses its luster when considering the extended duration of this silence and the lack of even a perfunctory acknowledgement of the report's receipt. The prolonged silence can be seen as a disregard for public concern, a failure to recognize the importance of transparency in maintaining public trust. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, the silence becomes deafening. It is a reminder of the work that still needs to be done to achieve true accountability and openness in governance. The public's demand for answers grows louder, and the pressure on the TIARJ to break its silence intensifies. In the end, interpreting inaction is about more than just reading between the lines. It is about understanding the broader context, the underlying issues, and the impact of silence on public perception. Only then can we begin to address the root causes and work towards a more transparent and accountable system. Section 5. Public trust, the unseen casualty. In the complex tapestry of governance, public trust is not merely an abstract ideal, it is the very thread that binds citizens to their government, fostering a sense of shared responsibility and collective purpose. This trust, however, is a fragile commodity, easily shattered by even the slightest hint of impropriety or a perceived lack of transparency. The TIARJ's ongoing silence in the face of mounting public scrutiny is chipping away at this vital foundation with potentially far-reaching consequences. The public's right to know is not a privilege bestowed by benevolent leaders, it is a cornerstone of any functioning democracy. When citizens perceive that information is being deliberately withheld, especially when it involves the financial dealings of their elected officials, it breeds cynicism and distrust. Section 6. The high price of silence eroding confidence. The TIARJ's silence in the Prime Minister's financial probe is not an isolated incident. It reflects a broader global trend of declining trust in public institutions. This trend, fueled by perceptions of corruption, inequality, and a lack of accountability, poses a significant threat to the very fabric of democratic societies. When citizens lose faith in their government's ability or willingness to act in their best interests, it creates a fertile ground for populism, extremism, and social unrest. The erosion of trust in public institutions is a slow-burning crisis, but its consequences can be sudden and devastating. Unveiling the affidavit. A glimpse into Holness's finances. Central to the Integrity Commission's investigation is Prime Minister Andrew Holness's Statutory Declaration of Assets and Income, a document that offers a glimpse into the financial dealings of the nation's highest elected official. These declarations, mandatory for all parliamentarians, are intended to promote transparency and deter conflicts of interest. The Prime Minister's declaration, however, has become a focal point of scrutiny, its details dissected and debated in the media and among the public. While the full contents of the declaration remain confidential, leaked excerpts have fueled speculation and raised questions about the source of Holness's wealth and the nature of his financial transactions. The Prime Minister, in accordance with Jamaican law, is required to disclose his assets, income sources, liabilities, and any gifts or benefits received. The Commission's gaze, areas of scrutiny. While the specifics of the Integrity Commission's findings remain shrouded in secrecy, leaks and insider accounts have provided glimpses into the areas of Holness's financial dealings that have attracted the attention of investigators. One recurring theme is the issue of unexplained wealth, with questions raised about the Prime Minister's ability to amass a sizable personal fortune despite a relatively modest political salary. The Commission, in its pursuit of transparency, is tasked with ensuring that the accumulation of wealth by public officials is commensurate with their known sources of income. Another area of scrutiny revolves around potential conflicts of interest stemming from Holness's past business dealings and investments. The contractor's connection, a tangled web. Adding another layer of complexity to the investigation is the alleged involvement of a prominent government contractor whose close ties to the Prime Minister have raised concerns about favoritism and potential breaches of procurement procedures. Media reports have highlighted a pattern of government contracts awarded to this contractor, often without competitive bidding or with questionable justifications for sole sourcing. The Integrity Commission, in its pursuit of transparency, is tasked with ensuring that the awarding of government contracts follows established procedures and that no undue influence or favoritism has been exerted.
Section 4, Cries of Persecution, Holness's Defense. Throughout this unfolding saga, I have remained defiant, vehemently denying any wrongdoing and framing the Integrity Commission's investigation as a politically motivated witch hunt orchestrated by my opponents to tarnish my reputation and undermine my government. In public addresses and media interviews, I have maintained my innocence, asserting that my financial dealings are above board and that I have always acted in the best interests of the Jamaican people. I have accused the Integrity Commission of bias and overreach, suggesting that the investigation is driven by a desire to score political points rather than a genuine pursuit of justice.
Section 5, Beyond the Affidavit, Seeking Deeper Answers. The Integrity Commission's investigation into Prime Minister Holness's finances is not simply a matter of verifying the accuracy of his statutory declaration of assets and income. It represents a deeper probe into the financial dealings of a powerful political figure, a quest to uncover any hidden assets, conflicts of interest, or patterns of behavior that might indicate corruption or abuse of power. The Commission's investigators are employing a range of techniques to piece together a comprehensive picture of the Prime Minister's finances. They are scrutinizing bank records, property deeds, tax filings, and company registers, tracing the flow of funds and identifying any inconsistencies or anomalies that warrant further scrutiny. Section 6, The Stakes Rise, Implications for Jamaica's Political Landscape. The Integrity Commission's investigation into Prime Minister Andrew Holness's finances is more than just a legal inquiry. It is a political drama unfolding on a national stage, its every twist and turn followed closely by a public both captivated and concerned by its implications. The stakes are high, with the potential for the investigation to reshape Jamaica's political landscape, depending on its findings and the actions taken in response. The investigation has exposed deep divisions within Jamaican society, with supporters of the Prime Minister dismissing it as a politically motivated witch hunt, and his detractors viewing it as long overdue accountability for a leader who has operated with impunity for too long.
The political opposition in Jamaica, never one to miss an opportunity, has seized on the Taj's silence as a rallying cry, amplifying their calls for transparency and accountability from the Holness administration. The silence, they argue, is not a sign of careful deliberation, but rather a calculated attempt to stonewall the investigation and shield the Prime Minister from scrutiny. Opposition leaders have taken to the airwaves and public forums, their voices laced with indignation as they denounce the government's handling of the affair.
Beyond the realm of partisan politics, a chorus of concern has emerged from various segments of Jamaican civil society, adding their voices to the growing calls for transparency and accountability in the handling of the Prime Minister's financial dealings. Religious leaders, academics, business groups, and human rights organizations have all expressed their unease over the Taj's silence, viewing it as a worrying sign of a government increasingly comfortable operating in the shadows. Church leaders, traditionally influential voices in Jamaican society, have used their pulpits to remind the government of its moral obligation to be transparent and accountable to the people it serves. The Taj's silence has acted as a prism, refracting the already existing political divisions within Jamaican society, amplifying existing distrust in government institutions while simultaneously fueling a staunch defense of the Prime Minister by his supporters. On one side of this divide stands a growing contingent of Jamaicans who view the Taj's silence as confirmation of their long-held suspicions about government corruption and a lack of accountability. These individuals, already grappling with economic hardship and social inequality, see the Prime Minister's financial dealings as symptomatic of a system rigged to benefit the elite at the expense of the ordinary citizen. Section 4, Regional Repercussions, Jamaica under scrutiny. News of the Integrity Commission's investigation and the subsequent silence from the TJ has not been confined to the shores of Jamaica. Regional neighbors and international observers are watching the unfolding events with keen interest, recognizing that the outcome could have implications far beyond the immediate case at hand. Within the Caribbean community, or CARICOM, of which Jamaica is a founding member, there is a palpable sense of unease. Section 5, The Weight of Silence, A Nation Awaits. As each day passes without a word from the Taj, the weight of their silence grows heavier, casting a long shadow over Jamaica's political landscape. The nation finds itself at a crossroads, its reputation for transparency and good governance hanging in the balance. The outcome of the Integrity Commission's investigation and the TAJ's eventual response will have profound implications for the country's future, shaping its political discourse, influencing its economic prospects, and defining its place on the world stage. Section 1. A Crossroads of Trust. Jamaica stands at a crossroads. The silence from the Tax Administration Jamaica, or TAJ, regarding the Integrity Commission's investigation into Prime Minister Andrew Holness's finances has cast a long shadow over the nation. This silence, deafening in its implications, has become a symbol of the erosion of trust, the lifeblood of any democracy. The situation has laid bare the fragility of the institutions tasked with upholding transparency and accountability, revealing the challenges inherent in balancing the right to privacy with the public's right to know. The investigation itself, regardless of its eventual findings, has already left an indelible mark on Jamaica's political landscape. Section 2, The Long Road Ahead. Regardless of the outcome of the current investigation, Jamaica faces a long and arduous journey towards restoring trust in its institutions and ensuring that its commitment to transparency and accountability is not merely rhetoric but a lived reality. This journey will require a collective effort, one that transcends partisan politics and embraces the principles of dialogue, compromise, and a shared vision for a more just and equitable Jamaica. The first step on this journey must be a recommitment to the rule of law.